How you doing? I'm Dr. Paul Dyer. I want to go over some of the practices that I've was working on today, and okay. So when I do my meditation or my mindfulness practices, there is some writing to be done afterwards, and that's what I do, and it's from studying the different scriptures, the Buddhist scriptures, and then getting into my practice. And what I mean by getting into my mindfulness practice, when I'm practicing serene, when you do serene meditation, it's the training of the meditative concentration, meditative concentration to the mental state that remains peaceful, and you remove things that are distractive. There's different types of specific practices you do in a different meditative state. And to be peaceful is to withdraw. Withdraw things that are deconstructive to the mind. And when you rely on the mindfulness in this type of training, you are at peace. So, because there's mindfulness training when you are very specific in where you want to go, right? And like if you're training in wisdom, you're training in peacefulness, you're training in abstinence, you're training in Tonglen, which is to take in suffering and release. So as I'm doing serene meditation today, and we do meditation to find out where we are in the center of the universal practice of all things, because you will understand the pulling of the body, that awareness. And so as you're turning away from the wrongdoing when you're doing serene and then engaging in good activities in the mind, this allows you to not negotiate the other things that are happening, but where you are in your peacefulness. You know, knowledge that comes from disciplining the mind with the 3 different types of trainings, it's not sufficient. You know, as if you want to learn, and teachers must also have good qualities in spiritual learning. So as you're wanting to, you're always the student and learning to bodhicitta, to get to the understanding of where you are, you have to circle back into where you've been. Now, this is very difficult for people because it happens when you leave something. Why go back to it? Well, when you leave something and if you feel like you've cleared it through, to go back to it, you're at a different state of the situation to go through it again. And will it have the same effect? Will it have the same awareness state you're in? So that's why I end up writing it down when I go through it. So if I can make an example of mindfulness training, is you walk through a field and you smell and you feel and the sound, and all your senses are through the path. And let's take a 10-foot path and you walk it as slow as possible. So 10 feet take 30 seconds. 10 feet take 30 seconds to walk 10 feet. and allow yourself to immerse in yourself in the 10 feet. After the 10 feet, collapse and then write down your experience, your action in that 10 feet. Now, don't turn around and walk back through the 10 feet. Actually, I want you to circle around, maybe another 20 yards and come right back around to the beginning of the path that you just walked the 10 feet. You could put out different landmarkers of the 10 feet and then walk 20 yards and come back around. And now walk 10 feet again, but now take a minute to walk the 10 feet. And in a whole different page, write down again the 5 senses, your experience, awareness of your body and your mind. Then again, walk around the 20 yards and walk the 10 feet again in 30 seconds. What we're doing is you're not keep going over the same 10 feet, because the 10 feet's an actual different place. It's a different time. You are experiencing at a different level of the 10 feet. This is what serenity and mindfulness practices is. This is what it's hard to really describe to students who are listening to this podcast or who read through books without being taught, because you have a different state. You have a different knowledge of the reality. This is special training when it comes to serene. The knowledge you get from it of the selflessness is phenomenal. It's unmeasurable. It takes you into a whole different life source of what your body is feeling and how it feels. So I hope this helps you. And I'm Dr. Paul, and I'm just going over the mindfulness training today with Serene. So please contact me if you have any questions.